Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Tell Me Yours, a storytelling podcast with me, your host, Trey Everett. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Tell Me Yours, a storytelling podcast with me, your host, Trey Everett. Today on the pod, I have a really good friend, Katie McGhie. She's an actress, a singer, a songwriter. She's hilarious. She's just an awesome person, and I'm super thankful that she gave some time to share this insane and ridiculous and really funny story. And then she caps it off with a little bonus story at the end, so stick around for that. But without further ado, please welcome the infinitely talented Katie McGhie.
Whoa, it's being recorded? I'm not into that.
Hello. Okay, you are going to tell me a fun story today.
Yeah, do you have a way to start your podcast?
No, we already started.
Okay, so do I just start and tell you my story?
It's the magic of podcasts. I'll edit it up to make it
feel
like...
and people won't know we've already had a full conversation.
I
They'll
know.
never know what we
I
talk
know.
about.
Well, unless they subscribe to our Patreon, and then they'll
Ooh,
know.
I like it. I like this. Perfect. Okay, well, I'm going to tell you a really good story, and I hope you're ready for it.
I'm not, but I am. Let's go.
It's a Katie McGhie story, so you know.
Perfect.
You know shit's about to go down. Can I swear in your podcast?
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. I don't want to offend any moms out there. I love you, Mom. I love Jesus, but I cuss a little.
That's a great t-shirt, actually.
I stole that from an old lady on Ellen. I can't claim it as my own.
Oh, that's fair.
Oh, no, she said I love Jesus, but I drink a little, which is also true.
Oh, that is better, though.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I think her name's like Phyllis, too.
All right, well, Phyllis, if you're listening, and we know you are.
She listens to every podcast.
Perfect.
She's like, okay, Trey, are you ready for this?
Okay, Katie McGhie, tell me your story.
Okay. I'm in a disclaimer that no animals were harmed in the making of this
Jesus
story.
Christ.
And that is a message approved by a vegan who would never want to hurt an animal ever. So I'm just gonna start this story.
Oh my God.
With that in mind. I don't know if I've ever told you this story.
I don't think you have.
The names shall remain anonymous.
Perfect.
The year was 2006.
Okay.
2006.
Okay.
I was in college.
Okay, I was about to ask, where were you in life at?
I was in college. This all takes place on campus at my college. Well, for the most part. For the most part, it does.
Oh, no.
Look, how many years? It's been like 15 years and it still cracks me up. Okay, so we were in college, and the college that I went to, that shall remain anonymous.
Perfect.
For legal reasons, was basically just like a building in a parking lot at the time. Like they've since expanded, but at the time it was like building, parking lot, and then in the same parking lot was the living, like the dorms, which was basically just like an old converted Hollywood apartment that was 100% haunted. That's a different story.
Oh, perfect.
So, and it was filled with like a bunch of like musical theater and like actor kids, like film, TV, actor kid dancers. So you can imagine what all the stuff that went down. So I happened to live with two of my good friends that I grew up with. We all happened to go to the same college. We lived together in this tiny little room together. One of my roommates, who I love dearly, was, we were all like 18, 19 at the time, but she had the mental capacity kind of at that time of like a 9-year-old, maybe.
Okay.
And like now she's an amazing mother of 2 children. She's wonderful. But she was very just like young at heart. We also had a friend of ours who was equally like young at heart. And my roommate and I and like another friend of ours kind of had to be like the parental unit to protect these 2 individuals.
Okay.
And just to like give you an idea of how this all started. So basically one day they both came to us and they were like, hey, we want to get a pet. And we're like, what do you mean you want to get a pet? and they were like, we want to get a pet for like our apartment. We're like, we can't have pets. We're in a dorm at college. And they were like, but maybe we should just like go look. And we're like, well, what kind of pet do you want to get? And they didn't really have an idea. And we were like, well, let's just like amuse the kids. So
like, here's a beta fish.
Basically, that's what we were leaning towards. So like, we could get a fish, put it in the corner, and see what happens.
Perfect.
But we're like, well, let's amuse the children on a Friday afternoon. And we all took a family outing to Petco.
Oh my God.
Basically, somehow ended up with a fluffy, adorable little hamster with all the trappings. Its little home, its little wheel, little like igloo thing for it to go in. And they were just like, we want this hamster. And we were like, fine, you can buy the $6 hamster from Petco. We don't know what we're going to do with it at this point. Like, our apartment is basically a studio apartment with two bunk beds in it and like a bathroom. So where are we going to put this hamster where like our RA isn't going to come in and see it? So we bring this hamster home. A day later, they were like, we don't want the hamster to be lonely. Can we get another one?
It's not a cat. Like, it's
a hamster. And they were like, we don't want it to be lonely. Can we get another one? And for some reason, we were like, go for it. So we go, everyone gets back in the car. We go to Petco. We get this hamster. We
hamster
come back.
Two. You get hamster number 2.
Hamster number 2.
Oh my God.
I don't even remember the names of these hamsters. But anyway, so we start to raise these hamsters in our apartment. And in order to hide them from anyone who may or may not care that we have these hamsters, we put their cage in the closet. And we kept the closet door open. Like, it wasn't like we shut them in there.
Okay.
And it's like an old Hollywood apartment. So it's like sliding wood doors, so most of the time they don't close anyway. So the hamsters are living in our closet. Now, mind you, it is their responsibility. We were like, okay, we got you these pets. You're going to take care of these pets. You need to feed them. You need to clean their cage, give them water. I come up from a family of like, we've had 1,000,001 pets. My other friend never even had a dog. And so I was like, you have to take care of this hamster. So I don't know, a week goes by, 2 weeks. I don't even know how long. So basically, some time goes by, not a lot of time, but some time. And we were like, how are the hamsters doing? Like, are you feeding them? And they're like, oh, yeah. And we're like, you're feeding them, right? When was the last time you like cleaned the cage? And they were like, no, I mean, they're good. And I'm like, did you check on them today yet? And they were like, not today. So I, being me and being like Miss Animal, like, no, you have to take care of them. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go check on these hamsters for you. And my friend's with me, the other parental figure. We open the closet door, like go to look at the hamsters. And a little known fact about hamsters is that they will do what they need for food. So when I opened the closet door and looked into this hamster cage, one of the hamsters was gnawing on the full-on carcass of the other hamster, like hamster meat gone. He was just like just looked up at us like the most evil, like vicious eyes ever, because he had just eaten his friend. We scream bloody murder, Trey. Like, I've never been like more like terrified and disgusted in my life and saddened. My heart was like, oh my God, it was a cannibalistic hamster. Like, I didn't know it was a thing. So we take off down the hallway and we're screaming, just like screaming as loud as we can.
Oh God.
And everyone's coming out and they're like, what's going on? What's going on? And we're just like, oh my God, like freaking out. Like, what do we do now? This is the grossest thing I've ever seen in my life, but also just like, I'm so sad. And we all start sobbing and we're like, we feel awful. We're like, what do we do? We're like, you let them die. He's eating. Like, we're freaking out.
Oh no.
So then the panic sets in of like, what do we do with this hamster that has now eaten his friend? Like, we can't keep this because he's eaten another hamster. So
he
what
has proven that his behavior is unacceptable.
It is inappropriate at this time. So
Oh
we're like,
my
what do we
God.
do with this hamster? This is a part I'm not proud of.
I also want to let you know that your disclaimer at the beginning of this episode is that no animals were harmed, and already we have hamster cannibalism.
Okay, no hamsters were harmed by humans.
Okay, got it. Yeah. Well, I mean, debatable, but
like hamster to hamster action.
Oh,
I can't. You know what?
God.
He Hannibal Lectered that other hamster.
Oh my gosh.
So we debate. We're like, what do we do with this? Like, how do we solve this problem? I don't know how we came to this conclusion. I'm sure alcohol was involved. We decide we have to let this hamster go. Like, we're going to free him into the wild. And
the wild of
Hollywood lived in a parking lot in Hollywood. But we were like, we have to let him go. Like, what if he has like rabies? Like, I don't know what kind of diseases a hamster would get from another hamster.
Oh my God. So
somehow we were like, all right, like we got to do it. So I'm like, I can't do this. Like, I can't. Like, I will cry. Like, I'm already a wreck because I feel horrible. So we go outside and there's like a patch of like maybe 8 by 8 of grass, you know?
Okay.
And we're like, we're going to let him go into the wild. So we release this cannibal hamster into the wild to go live his best life and eat some grass and like probably eat better than he ever ate in that apartment because his mommy and daddy did not feed him.
Yeah.
So we release this hamster. Maybe 20 minutes later, we're inside, we're sobbing. We're like, what did we just do? This is the worst thing we've ever done. Not even 20 minutes later, all of a sudden there's thunder and it starts pouring rain.
Oh my God.
And we were like, oh my God, the hamster. So we run downstairs and we look everywhere for this hamster. We're like, we have to save him. Like, we cannot let him drown in the wild of this parking lot. So no hamster to be found. We're like, he's scurried off to his new home. He's found new friends. He's hopefully found shelter.
In 20 minutes, yeah.
In 20 minutes. You know what? He had survival. He knew how to survive because he ate the other guy.
He had the instincts to, if any hamster could survive on the streets of Hollywood,
it was this guy.
It's this guy.
Someone think the story would end there. It does not, Trey.
No.
The hamster's journey does not end there.
Okay.
So we were like, well, there's nothing we can do. There's, we got to go back inside and we go about our daily lives and we go to our little musical theater classes and we sing our songs and time goes by. And then maybe like, I don't know, a week or two later, we get a knock on our door from our neighbors and they're like, hey, do you guys have any carrots? And we're like, what? They're like, do you have any carrots? We're like, why? They were like, well, no reason. We're like, well, we do. And the only reason we had carrots, Trey, is because of this hamster. And we somehow had these carrots in our fridge. And we're like, okay, why do you need carrots? And we're like, well, okay, fine. Like, but you can't tell anybody. And we're like, okay. So we're like, come into our apartment. So we go a few doors down and they were like, they show us this like bucket from Home Depot, this like bright orange bucket from Home Depot. And they were like, we found this hamster in the parking lot, you guys. And we were like, what? You found a hamster? Like, we were just like, the three of us, you've never seen more like shocked blank faces in your life. You're like, how do we stay composed and act like we did not put this hamster in the parking lot? And they were like, yeah, it was so wild. Like, we were just out there coming back from the building and we found this hamster. So we decided to keep him and we didn't have a place. So we just like had this bucket from Home Depot and we were like, okay, well, here's some food for this little guy.
Yeah, here's some unrelated carrots
that we just happen to have. So then we go back into our apartment and we're like, well, thank God he's okay. He survived. He found a new home. He railed in people to get him to take him home. So another couple of weeks go by and we're sitting in class one day and I was like, hey, like, how's your little friend doing? Like, how's he doing? I haven't heard you talk about him. She's like, oh, you know what? We couldn't keep him here. And I was like, where did he go? She's like, well, actually so-and-so over at the off-campus apartments was like, we'll take him. So this hamster has now moved up into the like fancy, like off-campus apartments that have like, like a pool and a spa and like a 24-hour like convenience store. And he is living the life. Like they've got him fully set up. This hamster went from being homeless. He's Annie. He's basically Annie, is what he is. He moved in with Daddy Warbucks. So and little did they know, we never told them that he ate another hamster. So even though he did that, he managed to get the best life he could instead of living in our closet.
Oh my God.
I wish that I knew what happened to our little friend Annie. Let's call him Andrew the hamster.
Andrew the hamster.
I don't know what happened to him. I don't know if she's still, I don't know how long hamsters live. I'm guessing not 15 years, but
yeah, I would, that's probably a healthy
I'd give it a solid 3. Like, but to this day, they still do not know that it was us and that he ate another hamster.
Oh my God.
So if this ever hits the news, I could like, I don't know. Someone's going to come after me one day for mistreating a hamster.
Well,
but I was the advocate.
It wasn't you.
I was the advocate.
You didn't do
for the little
this.
guy. I did not. He ate his friend and we tried our best, but we gave him the best life possible. I mean, like if we hadn't released him, he never would have gotten the bougie life that he lived out. His final days were lived out in a bougie apartment complex.
In hamster luxury.
In hamster luxury.
Oh,
Trey, that's my story. I don't know how long that was, but I hope
I don't even care. That was absolutely ridiculous. That's insane.
That's my life.
Gosh.
These are the things I wish I could forget from college.
But you have pets now, yeah? You have a cat now.
Yes, of course.
And your cat has not eaten any other cats.
That
you know
not of. This week.
Perfect. Yeah. Perfect.
But we can't talk about it.
Yeah, that'll be another episode.
I'll tell you that story in 15 years.
That's insane. Are you still friends with these people that you experienced this with?
Yeah. I mean, we don't like talk every day, but yes, we absolutely are. And does it come up? It does.
You still talk about the hamster.
Hey guys, remember when our hamster ate the other hamster?
Oh my God.
If my future children ever ask me for a hamster, it is a hard no. Like hard no. I could never.
I don't know why, but hamsters are like the go-to kid pet. They get a hamster.
In theory, they're easy until they start eating one another.
Yeah.
Then it's not such an easy conversation to have. So, but I think we actually did go back to Petco at one point, and she was like, you can't put them in the same cage because because
they'll eat each other.
They're territorial.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So we learned a lesson that day that hamsters are badass bitches.
Oh my gosh. I've had 2 hamster experiences in my life. The first we went because my older sister, who's about 4 years older than me, we were like little kids at the time. She wanted a hamster and my parents were like, yeah, sure. So we got a hamster, and all I remember, and I don't know if this is actually how it happened or not, but this is how my brain remembers it. We got the hamster. We got in the car. She tried to pet the hamster, and the hamster bit the shit out of her finger.
Oh, yeah.
Blood was just gushing everywhere, and we took the hamster back.
They're evil.
That was it. We had the hamster for a total of like 7 minutes.
They're legit evil animals.
The other hamster encounter I had a hamster, great owner, loved this thing, took care of it like crazy, had it in my room, and I noticed I kept like having trouble falling asleep. I'm probably like in middle school, and I feel like I keep hearing it play on its wheel, and I keep hearing the wheel squeak, and I'm like, man, that sound is so annoying. So one morning I wake up and I look at it, and I realize it's not the wheel. The hamster is like gnawing at the glass because I had it in like an aquarium, like a fish tank.
It was trying to eat.
It was trying to get out. It was trying to gnaw at the glass to get out, and I was like, what the hell?
I feel like hamsters are going to take over the world.
One day.
Like they're here to like kill us all.
So anyway, I put like a thick piece of wood in between like where the hamster was in the glass. It was like 2 inches thick. And I was like,
It nodded.
surely you're not going to do that. And then literally I wake up one morning and this hamster had gnawed its way through the wood. It made it like halfway through the glass and got stuck. And so I woke up to my hamster dead because it had gotten stuck.
You're a hamster killer too!
Because it had gnawed its way through 2 inches of wood and then through a thick panel of glass.
This is a whole new level of our friendship. We've both murdered hamsters unintentionally.
I refuse to accept that as
it is not your fault. I don't know that I can accept responsibility for my story either. Hamsters, even though I'm partially responsible.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. This is a whole new level of our friendship.
I mean, there's
now that we know now that we know our relationship to hamsters. Our lives will never be the same.
I love that. I mean, I hate it. I'm very sorry for the hamsters, but at the same time, hamsters also kind of suck. So whatever.
I mean, what purpose do they serve?
They're rodents. They're literally rodents.
They are. It's like owning a mouse.
People shouldn't be allowed to own them.
It's like owning a mouse.
Controversial stance.
It's weird. Yeah. Also, though, I just want to point out that that's like the wildest story from my college years. You can see how wild musical theater kids rage.
Yeah, you guys.
We smuggled in illegal pets. You know.
Oh my gosh. I love
singing some Jason Robert Brown and watching hamsters eat each other. So that's my story for you.
Thank you. It's great. I mean, it's terrible, but it's great. I won't hold it against you.
Perfect. Great.
Oh, man.
I was hoping that would end our friendship, but
no, sorry.
Darn.
Obviously, we can't end with you being like a
hamster killer. No, I'm not.
Hamster murderer. No,
I take care of all animals. I love them all. Look, I'm going to announce it here on this podcast.
Phyllis, if you're still listening, we got the hot dish.
This one's for you. The hot dish with Katie McGhie. I am going to basically have whoever wants it. I'm going to release literally like my whole music catalog, anything that I have like fully recorded and done up to this point. Giving it away for free. I'll email it to whoever wants it because I'm basically doing like spring cleaning. Or like the season end sale. Like it all has to go because I'm clearing house and I'm starting fresh.
Interesting.
So
anyone that reaches out to you and says, I would love your music,
you're
just going to send it to them.
Yeah, they can have it. Literally from the vault. Like they can even have like the musicals that I wrote. They can have those songs.
Okay. Just well, how can people reach out to you? How would you prefer them reach out to you if they want your music?
They can email me at hello@katiemcghie.com. Shoot me a DM on Instagram, which I probably won't check to be quite honest. And
do both just to be safe.
Yeah. I think there's a contact form on my website, although I definitely like rebranded my website the other day, so I don't remember what is on it anymore.
Perfect.
But definitely hello@katiemcghie.com. So
okay, perfect.
I am at a point where I'm like, okay, well, you know what? I have some new creative ideas and it doesn't quite align with the ideas I've had in the past. And so I'm just like, yeah, take all that, enjoy it, because I'm so proud of it. It's just not, who I am now as an artist. So I'm like, take it, enjoy it, and then we'll come back to it in 10 years and laugh together in a happy way, not in like a haha, you're horrible way.
Yeah, not as in like a haha, that was our hamster.
Haha, you killed a hamster way. But yeah, terrible. So I'm going to do that. That's what
cool.
I'm going to do.
I love that. Have you ever seen a ghost?
Oh, yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
You answered that with so much confidence.
Well, yeah, I have. Absolutely. But I don't...
Give me a quick one. Just tell me a synopsis. And it'll be a teaser for when I have you back for a scary episode.
Okay. Well, but see,
You answered that with so much instant confidence. I said, have you ever seen a ghost? And you said, yeah.
Well... I guess I have to preface this by saying that like I'm going to sound so hippy dippy right now, but I'm like sensitive to like energies.
Okay.
And so I wouldn't say that I think that certain people can see like physical form, but I can like sense energy in a room when like things, so like there's been multiple times where like I've walked in and been like, I have to leave. Like, I can't be here. Like, we should leave. And people would be like, what do you mean? And then find out later that like someone had like died in the room or like
a hamster had ate its
hamster had eaten another hamster. Actually,
this
though,
room speaking of bad energy.
Speaking of, though, I told you this. I mean, I'm just gonna lump these two together. This is like one instance where in the same apartment, and I told you this apartment building was 100% haunted, and I can't remember the exact conversation, but basically, my roommate, the like young one, kept waking up with like bruises all over her legs, like big bruises. And we were like, this is getting weird. And we're like cut her name out.
Yeah, I'll cut her name out.
We're like, what's happening? Like, are you hurting yourself in the night? Like, are you having bad dreams? Like, are you falling off your bed? And she's like, no. Like, it's not from dance class. No. But basically weird stuff was happening. And then one day we were sitting in the apartment and I said something of like, are we bothering you? You know what I mean? Like, is something going on? And I shit you not, we were like asking, like, is it okay? Like on old fans, it was like that beaded chain, like hangs down from like where you pull on it. It starts spinning.
Oh God.
Like full force. I kid you not, Trey. No, and we were like, do you like, are you okay with us? Like, do you need anything? And it just went boop and stopped. Like as if it was never moving. That's like the most like, that to me was like the most physical thing that I've ever like in terms of like something moving or whatever. But I definitely have like, there's sense, like I'll sense something and I'll like kind of whatever, and like the lights will flicker, like that kind of stuff.
I love it. Well, I will definitely have you back on to give me a more in-depth rundown of some of those things.
Oh, I will.
That's ridiculous.
Gladly tell you all those stories.
I love it. Oh my gosh. All right, dude. Thank you so much. You're the best. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Okay, bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of Tell Me Yours, a storytelling podcast with me, your host, Trey Everett. If you want to follow Katie McGhie, check out her website, katiemcghie.com. Or, as she said, you can reach out to her directly at hello@katiemcghie.com. She's just at Katie McGhie on social media, so you can follow her there as well. Stay tuned for her upcoming shows in the Los Angeles area, any upcoming tours that she goes on, etc. If you want to follow us, Twitter and Instagram, we are at Tell Me Yours Pod. And then also, please feel free to subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/tellmeyours. We have an awesome amount of exclusive content that is not available to the public, that is only available to our patrons at patreon.com/tellmeyours. Please feel free to like and subscribe and comment. It really helps us gain new listeners. And I hope you enjoyed today's episode as much as I did. It was great to connect with Katie, and I'm really happy that she gave us the time. Until next week, be kind to each other, and we'll talk soon.